Okay, some of the harder factoring problems. So this is where you have an integer in front of the x squared. Okay, so it's not just simply x times x, it's something else. Okay, now we tend to just use what's called a trial and error method. Okay, so I look at this, and what I'm looking at is okay, how can I make 7x squared? Okay, at the start. Now there's only one way because 7 is a prime number, and that's 7x and 1x. So think about that. If I was to FOIL that, I'd get 7x squared. Now look at the 2 at the end. Okay, how can I make 2 when I multiply? Okay, but at the end you've got to somehow figure out that you've still got to get that plus, that positive 13x in the middle when you OI it. Okay, the outer and the inner. So you have to kind of just make some guess on this. Let's call it trial and error. Now I can see that if I put the 2 there and the 1 there, that'll give me the 2. I need to make plus 13x. So if I make that positive and that negative. Now remember, I'm just kind of making like an educated guess on this. Of course, I've done this a lot of times. And then check on it. Then can you see, look, that is 14x for the outer. The inner is negative 1x. And of course, yes, if you add those two together, you'll get 13x. So that's the answer. I just did it by trial and error. Sometimes if you put the numbers in the wrong place, just switch them round. If you get the signs wrong, switch them round until you FOIL it to check. Alright. Question 9, a little bit harder. Okay, because I don't have prime numbers at the start and at the end, which I did in question 8. So that's nice. There's only one option for a 7, 7 times 1. Only one option for a 2, 2 times 1. But look, 6x squared. That could be 6x and 1x, or it could be 3x and 2x. I'm just going to go for 3x and 2x. Now again, I could tell you that, look, I'm just kind of guessing on this, guys. Okay. 12, right, 12 at the end. It could be 1 times 12. Could be 6 times 2. Could be 4 times 3. So can you see that sometimes it gets a little bit trickier. But then sometimes you can kind of think in your head, okay, what I'm doing is like mini foils in my head, or mini OIs in my head. I'm trying to think, if I put that there and put that there, well, I get 17, okay. Now, another little hint for this one. To get a 12 at the end, a positive 12, it's got to be either 2 positives, or think about it, 2 negatives. Now, to make the negative 17, surely it has to be 2 negatives, because when I add these together, I've got to get to negative 17x. So it must, this option must be 2 negatives to make the positive 12. I still don't know what the numbers are. Okay. Supposing I said, let's try 4 and 3. Let's try 4 and 3. Now, what I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to put the 3 there and the 4 there. Now, without me actually even checking by doing the FOIL, I know that's wrong straight away. And the reason is, look at this 3x minus 3. I can factor a 3 out of that. Now, if I can't factor a 3 out of the original question, why can I factor a 3 out now all of a sudden? If you look at the second parenthesis, 2x and a 4, I can factor a 2 out of there. Well, again, if I can't factor a 2 out of here, why is it there? So that has to be wrong. Okay, but again, check by doing the FOIL. It won't work. So if I swap them round and put the 4 there and the 3 there, I'm going to check by doing the FOIL. The outer is negative 9x. It's looking good. The inner is negative 8x, and that is the negative 17x I was looking for, so that must be the answer. Okay. Now, sure, if you put 6 and 2 there, actually you couldn't put 6 and 2 there. I think about it. If I put a 6 there, then look at this, 2 and 6, I can factor a 2 out. I just said we can't factor 2 out of this. If I'd have put the 2 there instead for 6 and 2, okay, well again, I could have factored a 2 out. I can't do it here, so why can I do it there in the answer? Okay, so again, but just try it, do foils to check. Please do foils to check. Right, finally question 10. This is called the difference of squares. Look it up if you need to, okay? And the reason is, if you think about it, it's this. It's x squared. It's got no x's in the middle, all right? And it's got this negative 36 at the end, okay? So I can think of it like some of the previous ones, where how do I get nothing in the middle, okay? It's still, how do I x squared? X and x. How do I make negative 36 at the end? Well, 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 9 times 4. But look, 6 times 6. Because if one's positive and one's negative, to get to the negative 36, then look, the outer and the inner will cancel. Okay, and that, if I go back, is that one there. Look at it. Look at that. Okay, of course the reverse way around. Foiling, multiplying, a lot easier than you doing it the other way around. Where are we? And that's factoring. Okay, so that's the difference